I'll just start over. All right. Hello! Welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. And if you'd like to reach out to us through social media, you can find us on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook at Cast Roles ILM. And if you want one-stop place where you can get all of our information, you can go to our website, castrolls.com. Can you mute Ronnie? There you go. We stream here on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all video uploads are made on Friday of the same week. But with no other announcements, we will go ahead and start the show. So, ticket takers. After about a 15 or so hour journey through the Feywild, trying to return a lost Kelpie to her home, you found your way through the Summerlands and across the border into the slightly more dangerous and a little off-putting Twilight Forest. You fought a Shadow Drake, which was actually just 3 pixies in a trench coat, and then you made your way in through the Twilight Forest, discovering an abandoned spider nest spread out with the flowers that you found corrupting various creatures in some of your past adventures. Continuing your path, you found yourself to a familiar lake to Mar from her training with the Order of the Lycan, where she had traveled into the Feywild before, and learned that this was the home of your Fey creature Miranda's home. She was a little scared because a creature had set up shop, and you discovered a hydra-like beast of flowers and vines had killed most of the wildlife in the area of the lake, and Miranda was a little afraid to return home. So you fought the creature, defeated it, and allowed her to reclaim her lake. While you were clearing out the area, burning the remaining flowers, you felt a presence watching you. And from atop the ridge that you had descended down to this area, you saw members of the Unseelie Court's Wild Hunt. Calling out to Mar, they let her know that they would give you a head start, as this was your first hunt in the Unseelie lands, and you tore off into the direction of what Mar hoped would be the portal back home. After a few close calls and some very great rolls across the board from most of you, except for Abel, who managed to faceplant into flowers and trudge his way through the forest, barely surviving. You made your way into the cave and through the border of the Feywild and back into the Prime Material Plane. So, ticket takers, as you come out of the cave, you're looking across this forest. It's still nighttime, it was nighttime when you went into the forest. Unsure of how much time has passed, and you discover that Abel and Alyria have lost their memories of being inside the Fey. So, what would you like to do?
I think Hamani should explain to Abel and Alyria exactly what we just went through.
What are we doing in the middle of the woods?
Did you lose your memory too?
Yes. Yes, I totally lost my memory.
Roll a deception check.
I just thought you were the most eloquent of us. Would be the best.
Am I?
What do you mean lost our memory? I don't remember losing my memory.
You wouldn't. That's kind of how it works.
That is a 12.
A 12, okay. So if anybody would like to see if Kaimana's lying, then you can roll an insight check.
Yeah. I believe him. I rolled really bad.
Yeah, Kaimana also has apparently lost his memory too.
I rolled the natural 3, so I believe
There you go.
I rolled that one.
Oh my god. Kaimana also. So Abel, Alyria, and Kaimana have all lost their memory. They don't remember who they are or where they've been.
If Kaimana plays this right, he can come out ahead in this. So.
Well, do you remember the Kelpie, Miranda, that we got from what's it face's place?
What's a kelpie?
I do remember the Kelpie.
Yeah, you remember anything before you went in through the portal?
Okay. Yes, I do remember Miranda. Where
Okay.
where is Miranda?
Yeah, we got her home. She was just in the Feywild.
Who are you people?
So, well, I think Kaimana is worse off than any of us. It seems he doesn't even recall
Kamana,
who
what
we
is
are.
the last thing? Kamana, what is the last thing you remember?
I was on the beach, and I had an abalone, and I was eating it.
Do you know
Which
who
one
we
of you
are?
took my abalone?
Do you know who we are?
No.
Okay, I pull out my journal and I flip past the moon stuff, and there's like a back section that you guys haven't seen before. I hand it to Kaimana, and it's basically like a little day-by-day breakdown of like, I point like to where I met you guys, and it's like little detailed notes of like everything that happened that day, basically. Pretty impersonal, except for where I comment about how much you guys annoy me, but that gets less and less towards the end.
And I have
What's
It's
it
kind of
written in?
sweet.
It's written in, I think it might be written in Elvish. Can you read that?
No.
That's unfortunate. I take it away from you.
See, this is proof of who you are. Can't read it.
No.
Yeah,
Let's
I think it would be written in Elvish. That's what I said. I think I wrote the journal in. So, unfortunate.
Let us start with the more recently confused. And we took.
Wait, are we all friends?
You don't remember taking tickets together?
Why would we take
To this
tickets?
sad day.
Oh my god.
goodness.
Oh wow.
Look
Kaimana,
at
I
that
didn't
later.
expect that to
poor
hurt.
little friend.
Wow.
That's character growth, Mar.
What, is that what you call yourselves? The
No.
ticket takers?
It's not. Nope. Mm-mm. We've never
Yeah,
called
that'd be
ourselves that.
that's a dumb name anyway.
Exactly.
Ma, this may be our only chance to get our friend back.
All right, listen. We went in the Feywild. We made a deal with a Fey person named Goodfellow. So that's
He
fun.
sounds like a nice person.
Debatably. And
A
then
good fellow, one might say.
What type of deal did we make with this good fellow?
he wants us to learn the name of a devil that's possibly in. Where is that devil supposed to be?
Feldspar.
Feldspar. Yes. Which we were headed to anyway, so we have to do that within 6 months, or probably get murdered by him. That's just what I'm assuming.
I don't think I would have agreed to that type of deal.
We all agreed unanimously as a party. So,
We weren't presented with a lot of alternative choices.
exactly.
If
All
we
of
ever
us said
went to
yes.
the Feywild.
Honestly, Abel, you enthusiastically consented to that. I don't know why you're going back on this.
I must have fallen and hit my head. I am covered in dirt and debris.
No, I think it's leaving that place is the issue. Speaking of which, when is it?
Can we
Sometimes
see the
people.
Starlight, if you want to check the stars, Sora's, that probably put you at disadvantage if you want to check that, but Mar, you could roll with advantage if you wanted to check the stars.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that first.
16 and a 2.
16, okay, and okay, 2. Okay.
What is this check?
Let's say just a general wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Yeah. Well, not looking for tracks. Like, this is like Mars' knowledge of the movement. So you could choose intelligence or wisdom.
Then it's also a 16.
Okay. So Mar, because you keep track of all of this stuff in your journal, It's a little hard because you have the canopy of the trees, so you're not getting a full picture of the sky. But you can tell from the moon that it's... I mean, it's the same phase of moon it was when you left. So that either means it's the same time, like, couple day time period, or it could be the next month, or it could be the next year. Like, it's hard to know.
Hold on. I walk away and I'm gonna call my boss real quick.
Okay.
I wrote this down last time. I remember to do this. Okay.
New phone, new disc.
New photos.
Okay.
Oh my god, Ma, the entire order has been destroyed.
What if? Hey, Kellyanne. How long has it been since we last spoke? Just left the Feywild. Long story. Currently at the same cave you and I discovered.
2 words.
Help, please.
All right, so you send out the message. A moment goes by. Another moment goes by.
Oh my god, they're all dead.
And then a response comes. And like groggily, like maybe perhaps you woke this person up. Ma, we just spoke yesterday, I suppose. It hasn't been that long. The Feywild, I suppose that you've made the journey safely. Good to hear from you. That means you're in the Deepwood? Come by if you can.
Oh, fuck.
Did we overhear this conversation?
She said she
I think
stepped
it's
away.
mental, right?
Yeah, you would. I mean, even with your perception, like Kaimana might have been able to hear it with his perception, but you wouldn't have been able to hear the return.
Oh, okay. So it's not a like a walkie-talkie type.
Well, I mean, I guess technically, Mara, you can decide if you want to have the whole conversation telepathically or if you want to speak out loud.
I think I speak out loud and I get it back telepathically.
That's fine with me. Yep.
I will have spent the intervening time explaining to Kaimana who we are and how we know each other, and going step by step through the creation of the Adventurers Guild.
Okay.
I'm gonna help him, but I guess stop right up to the point where we went to the Feywild.
Yeah. And this whole time, like, Alyria is also like, she's taken out this chart and she's looking at it in her notes, and she keeps glancing up at the stars too, and it looks like she's doing math, but she's kind of mostly been ignoring all of you at this point as she's working through this in her journal.
Before any of this happened, to retcon, are there any spider webs around?
If you would like to check for a perception check, you can do that.
Oh goodness.
Perception 19.
Yeah, so glinting in the moonlight, you see kind of like what you saw when you were leaving the area, like those little like track spider marks where they drop a web and then walk some and then release it. And they all seem to be like, there's a path leading out of this cave that heads kind of to the right. And Mara, you're aware well enough that leads towards Romulus Keep. All of these seem to go deeper into the woods to the left.
I'm in danger.
His memory is coming back, eh? At least he can perceive danger.
I'm sorry we don't have any abalone for you. It doesn't grow around here naturally.
It does not.
Great news. It's the same night that we left, I think. So, didn't skip a year or anything. That's cool. I guess I have a place for us to stay tonight if we all want to go to the Order. It's not far.
To the Order of Werewolves.
It's the Order of the Lycan. Let's not. They're not all wolves. Hashtag
like
not
fun.
all wolves.
Dude, that's good.
I'm sorry, what was that, Kaimana?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. No, I'm a werewolf. I guess I have to say that again for you. Weird. Well, you were cool with it before, but
But she's our werewolf.
That's fine then.
Alora, like, at some point, she, like, closes, or she has her journal in her hand, but at some point she, like, leans over towards you, Kaimana, and she's like, it's really quite hilarious that they haven't caught on yet, but keep it up. It's pretty funny. And then she, like, is like, Ma, I know you track moon cycles. Can I see your notes on this night that you took? I'm trying to calculate the exact time.
yeah, totally.
So she compares the
flip it to
two.
her.
And she's looking at it, she's like, as far as I can tell, I mean, we were in the Feywild probably almost a day, I would say, and the stars haven't moved since we entered.
So no time has passed at all?
Maybe seconds.
I thought she lost her memory. Though.
Well, she was tracking when she went in, and she's looking at it when she came out. She has no idea what happened inside the Feywild, but she believes you that you guys went in.
No, okay.
So, but as far as she can tell from her notes, when you guys went into the Feywild and right now, no time has passed.
That's kind of convenient.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
honestly the best possible scenario.
Yeah, I will say it. Like the only outcome that could possibly have been on the table was a natural one. So, because above a
So
one,
one was a good thing.
yeah, above a one, it starts getting into like a little bit like hours could have passed to no change to days passing to weeks passing to years passing. So like a one was definitely the role you wanted on that.
I don't have to mourn the death of my parents.
Well, I mean, you're not sure. It's been a couple days since you found out that he was supposed to be assassinated, so.
Oh my goodness.
Way to bring us down, Josh.
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
But, all right. So, so Mara offers to go to Romulus Keep. If you all.
It's
want
not
to head
many
that way.
people there. You'll meet
If we're having
Callie, and she's annoying sometimes, but she's like fine. And
I am going to be frank. Will we be safe there with the Lycans roaming about?
yeah, they don't just like walk around being like, all right, who am I gonna maul now?
I actually would feel safer there than out in the woods with all these spiders running around.
Yeah, it's like pretty protected. Honestly, we're far out enough that we're not gonna get any better place to sleep tonight. Really, any place. We're gonna be out in the woods or there.
And Abel, didn't you say that there was a dragon who might not be quite so pleased with our presence here?
To Romulus Keep we shall go. On the way.
All right, so Mara, I assume you're going to
Not forget
be
about the dragon.
guiding, so go ahead and roll
Yeah.
perception check with advantage because this is home turf for you.
20 not natural.
Oh, okay, good. So it only takes about an hour to walk from the portal through the forest. There are the couple moments where you notice the native trapdoor spiders that live in this area. You see their very distinct nest areas, and you make a wide skirt around those, and you guide the group past. There are a few moments where you get a much clearer view of the sky, and you're probably approaching, because you guys entered into the Feywild around right after nightfall, probably a couple hours after nightfall. So you're probably looking at like 10 or 11 at night, maybe, from where the moon is in the sky. And you get to that point where the forest starts to open up a little bit. And for everybody else, Mara, this is familiar territory, so you know it's about to happen. But for everyone else, it's almost like you're walking through the woods, and then suddenly, like before you, is just a wall of stone, because it blends in so well with the surroundings. And what you see is not a well-kept keep. Looks very old. Elements of the parapets are falling apart, and the walkway has gouging pieces missing out where either time or some great battle or something occurred here that has weakened this structure. The stones that this keep are made out of are large, dark gray and covered in vines and moss. And all you can kind of see is this long wall that stretches in front of you, two rounded towers on either end of the wall. Mar knows that this the shape of this structure is more like hexagonal in nature. And so this is just one of the side walls. And there's a small wooden door that's placed in this wall that faces this opening in the forest. And between the edge of the forest and the wall, there's about 30 feet of clearance, so that, you know, if something were to charge out of the forest, they'd have at least a little bit of a warning before it got to the wall. So you're there at the edge of the forest and the wall in front of you.
I've always wanted to visit Karamorin.
I guess it's like late enough. Would I know if anyone would be awake to let me in, or is this like a situation where I gotta let myself in?
You know that there usually are guards, at least a couple guards posted on the walls, and they would be responsible for like keeping an eye on things.
Mm-hmm.
Last time you were there were only like 5 people in the keep, though. So.
Yeah. I guess I'll walk up and have my like badge out and look for guards.
Okay. The moment you like walk out, you hear just right in the ground in front of you, like an arrow, and you hear like a halt. Who goes that?
Sma.
And up, you look at kind of up on the parapet, and you see no lantern lights or anything like that, but you just see a shrouded figure, like the moon behind them, arrow drawn, or another arrow drawn, looking down in your direction. And there's like, Marlo?
Yeah.
We didn't know you were coming. Do you
I
need
didn't
us
know I was coming.
Do you just unlock the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Yora.
Also, I brought people.
Oh.
So.
You good?
Just like be cool with it.
Did you like clear that with Kellyanne?
She said to stop by.
With people.
So I think it was implied. Look, do you want these people spending the night out in the deep wood and possibly getting murdered by a bunch of fake wild spiders or not?
Look, I just want to say that, you know, if the shit comes down on this, it's you. It's on you, okay?
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm
Okay.
Callum's favorite. We all
Good.
know it.
Yora, go open the door. And you hear like, oh, is that bitch back? And like she goes
Fuck
down.
you, Yara.
Yeah, it's Yara. So you go down, and after a few minutes, you hear the door click.
Oh, I remember Yara.
Open.
Fucking bitch.
And you saved her. No. And
I was nice to her.
the
and she
door
was a bitch
opens.
about it.
The door opens, and there, again, no, like, for anybody who doesn't have dark vision, although I think all of you do except for Abel, but you've got your glasses. It's interesting that, like, there's literally no light anywhere. Like, nobody's carrying torches, nobody's carrying lanterns.
They don't need them.
They don't need them. And so the door opens, and like there's a shadowed form there, and like they stick their head out, and you guys see like this, you know, kind of maybe, I mean, younger than Mar, female, sticks her head out, and she goes, "Well, it's open. Close it after when you come in, please, and don't forget to lock it." And Yara goes back, bitch. Keeps heading.
Yeah,
and heads
how's
in.
training still going for you?
She walks away, and the door's there.
Side of Marlo that we've never seen. it's like there's a personality.
And so the door's open for you all to enter in.
God, sorry for everyone here being the absolute worst at all times.
So I guess we are not welcome guests, eh?
No, it's just not usual. It's they'll live. It'll be for a night.
All right. So you guys head on in.
Yes.
Okay. So you walk through this kind of this large oaken door, no windows or slates in it, and then Mar, you close it behind the group, and there's 2 large oaken pylons that kind of just like snap into place to block the door from reopening. And you guys notice now the depth of the walls. They're probably about 10 feet deep, and you're walking through a hallway that then opens up onto a large central courtyard area. And without any light or anything, it's difficult to kind of see all the elements, but you walk out, and you find yourself in this central courtyard, hexagonal in shape. There's a couple places with overhangs where you see there's a stable of horses. There looks like an area where there's probably a blacksmith that makes things throughout the day. And then the high walls at each of the corners of the hexagon are towers. One of the towers at kind of the diamond, or the tip point of the hexagon, is larger, more like keep-like in nature. And there are a couple lights in the windows of some of, like, the smaller windows of some of these locations within the keep area, but the rest of the keep is completely shrouded in darkness. You walk in, and as you kind of enter into the courtyard area, Mahar, behind you, you hear, "It's about time that you come home."
I turn around.
And there you see Prentice, your half-orc trainer from your training days.
Hey.
Well, it's good to see that you've survived, at least.
Yep. Just came out of the Feywild again. So.
Quite impressive.
Yep. This is my group, I guess.
And what you all see is this large, like, half-orcs tend to be, more human size in stature. Prentice definitely took more after his orcish relative than his human one. And he has deep greenish skin. He's probably 6'5", 6'6", rippled muscle. He's wearing a really beautifully ornate leather armor, but you can just, like, his muscles are ripped everywhere. But he has this large gash across his face, not done by a blade, but looks by claws of some kind. And he's wearing, like, an ornate cape over one shoulder, and there's a clasping the cape to his is this ornate wolf's head that glints in the moonlight. And one of his eyes has gone blind because of this gash, and it's just this milky white. But the other one is eyeing you up and down carefully, each of you. And it's like, I hope you're more dangerous than you look. No offense. But
everyone keeps underestimating us to their peril.
Well,
we don't look like much, but we are.
I was going to say, if you're anything like Mar, then you definitely pack a greater punch than you look like you should.
But not enough that they're a threat to be in here.
Well,
just wanted to point that out. That's fine.
As you've already agreed, I heard your conversation with the gate warden. It's on your head if Callian doesn't agree.
I don't know why people keep acting like it's gonna be fine. It's for a night.
Well, there's not technically any rules against guests. We just haven't had any in so long.
I mean, they're in on it, so it's not like it's, big reveal.
At that moment, Prentice sees the person kind of behind your group. Ma, you said there were only 3 or 4 members of the ticket takers. Who's this one?
Oh, that's Princess Alyria. What? Yeah. That's the princess. That's a princess. So.
And, like, you guys have been very accustomed to literally everybody, when they realize who Alyria is, like, freaking out and be like, "Oh my god, princess, whatever." And Princess just, "Nice to meet you." And Alyria just nods back with, like, a little, "Okay." And then he says, I imagine Callian would like to see you, Marlo, before the night's over, but...
I did wake her up, for sure, so yes. Don't question that. Bye!
Well, I'll say that she's not in a great mood, but it's not because of you.
Is it the spider problem?
No, but...
No, hold on. What's not the spider problem?
Well, other issues, but I'm sure she'll fill you in.
Is it the dragon problem?
He did pay us a visit. He did pay us a visit, yes.
How did that go?
I'm sure she'll fill you in.
Great.
It's not really my...
as always, Prentice.
It's not my place necessarily. I don't know exactly what she wants told and what she doesn't want told.
No, understandable.
And he just he snaps his finger a couple times, and waves. And Yara is in the shadows over in the corner. And she like reluctantly comes out, and he points at the rest of the ticket takers to let her know like that's who's gonna guide you to your house, to your quarters or whatever. But yeah.
I'll go over to Marlo. I would like to know what the dragon's visit entailed. Just for my own safety, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'll try to get the lowdown. If
Thank
nothing
you.
else, we already visited here. He's probably not gonna come back, and hopefully we'll be able to get in and out tomorrow morning.
Oh, goodness.
He hasn't
Yes.
messaged me anything.
I mean, we haven't. Look, hopefully he'll understand if he does come to find us that we were doing something technically good by getting the Selkie back in the Feywild.
Maybe
Should
the
approve
essence of
of
the
it.
Feywild would like cover my human scent for a while.
Yep, that's how it works. Okay.
I would say roll a deception check, but he literally has no idea. So.
All right. Well, I'll catch up with you guys in the morning, I guess.
Okay.
Wait,
By the way, on the entire hour trip here, I was filling Kaimana in on our adventures.
Good.
yes, I'm confused.
And-
You said it was a Selkie we took back?
Yes.
I thought it was that other thing.
Selkie
the-
can change forms.
Oh,
Oh, it was a Kelpie. That's right. We just keep saying the wrong thing.
I don't actually know the difference between a Selkie and a Kelpie, so I haven't
I think the
corrected
Selkie's
you.
the seal one, right?
is
Yeah.
it?
Okay.
That's like
Kelpies,
the seal mythology where
Yes.
it's like they come up and then they like change into human
Oh,
form
yes,
and then they
and
go
Kelpies are horse-like when they're in the water, but
back. Right.
but they can also change form. Yeah.
Well,
They all want to drown you, so.
yeah.
That's why they're unseelie.
Weird that you remembered that. Come on him.
Yep.
Maybe a memory's coming back.
Maybe.
Hopefully, when you wake tomorrow, it will all have returned.
Yes, let's hope that.
Can all pray. Okay, well, get Yara to take you to your room, so don't let her be a bitch to you. Fucking tell her to shut up. She does.
I
So
feel love.
Marty, you head off to Callian's office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta.
So
Callian's
you know the path.
place.
To get to Callian, you actually have to like go up to the rampart, and then there's like
Mhm.
a stairway that goes up on the the outer edge of the keep to a doorway that's there. So she has really quick, easy access to the outside if she
Yeah.
needs to. So you go that way. The girl that Prentice motioned to does not move closer to you until Mar is out of the way. And then she comes up and she's like, thank you for coming today here to the keep. I guess I'm the welcoming committee. I shall show you to your quarters. My name is Yara Vale.
Thank you, Yara.
And she turns and walks. You notice she's dressed very simply, kind of not like burlap, but like very simplistic cotton dress
Dobby.
on the outside. Kind of raggedy pants, muddy at the cuffs, typical regular boots, simple sash, belt around the waist. Nothing ornate like in the way that Prentice was dressed at all. And so she's kind of guiding you. And at some point she pauses. She goes, "I'm sorry. Do any of you need light to work your way around the inside?"
It would make things a bit easier.
Okay.
Does Alyria have night vision or dark vision?
Oh no, she doesn't. So Alora's like, yes,
Yes.
it would. That would be pleasant. Thank you. She's just. You have noticed at some point, Abel, that Alora grabbed onto you and she was following you that way very carefully.
I'll hold on to her arm.
And so you see Yara, like, she reaches out and grabs a torch nearby, and when she touches it, the tip of the torch lights. It doesn't light in flame, it just begins to give off a light. And now there's this light around you, and the energy seemed to come from her hand when she did it. And so she...
I want to ask her, what type of magic is this?
Um, well, I mean, technically, it it's not magic. It's just kind of comes from who I am as a person.
Hmm. Interesting.
And
Lead the way.
yeah,
Lead the way.
and looking at her, she looks human-ish, human. Maybe she has some like half elven nature to her, but was able to just touch something and make it turn on a light. And so she kind of leads the way, and you guys go. You walk through the courtyard towards that keep area, but instead of going up the stairs that Mar went, you go around to the side. There's this large double door that's open, and you enter in, and in here there's a little bit of light because there's a low fire burning in at a large central fireplace. And you notice this is probably like the canteen or the mess hall area of the keep. There's chairs and tables all around, and she guides you through here to a set of stairs that go up one level to an open loft style area that overlooks the canteen. And you see there's just a 3 or 4 beds here. And she says, we don't have private quarters for guests, so this is the best that we can offer. I apologize, of course, but do let me know if you need anything. I am the night watch for tonight. As I said, Yara, you can find me outside. I'll be on the wall.
Thank you, Yara. Having a roof over our head is privacy.
Would you like me to leave the light?
Yes, please.
So she hands it off to you, and she says, "You've got about an hour on that, but then it'll be gone. So you'll need to figure something else out beyond that." And she kind of turns and walks away.
Well, she was pleasant.
There's obviously a history between her and Marlowe, however.
Obviously.
I have a feeling here that Marlowe has a history with everyone here.
Was I there for that part?
Not yet.
No, yeah. This is new to all of us.
Oh, all right.
Well, I guess we should settle ourselves in. Wait to hear back from Marlowe about the problems the keep has been experiencing. I'm sure it'll be another thing added to our list of things we have to fix.
As a note, it has been about 15 hours since you guys last ate or had a rest, so you are probably hungry. Yara did not offer you any kind of food. So if you're going to,
Yell out.
yeah, you might
Trail
need to,
ration.
you might need to eat something, like either break into your rations or
Yeah, I guess we have. I could
That's
after
very.
after a long rest, I could change. I can make like beads of nourishment as an infusion.
Yeah, so 8 hours from now, you could eat then. Yeah.
That'd be a good breakfast. Just some nuts and berries until then.
Yep, I still have some rations, I think, somewhere. I'm sure I got plenty of pocket bacon.
You guys, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, like, literally, the last day of gameplay has been the longest day ever. Because you woke up in Broadfield, like, and that was like 5 sessions ago, and it's still the same day. So
Jesus.
yeah,
It's aged like
Yeah.
10 years in one day. Yeah, okay, so
you are all
Come
very
on.
tired. Yeah.
Kamana, Lord, do you have any rations, or do we need to divvy up what we have? And then try to get some rest after?
I mean, I'll be really honest. I wasn't really prepared for this type of journey. I thought we were just going to the Heavenly Estate and then back to Broadfield. So
Yes.
I don't have much of anything.
Okay, I will share my rations with Elora. Let me
Okay.
mark it off.
Mark off 2 rations.
Cool.
And they're just delicious.
They're,
And
well,
I will share with Kaimana.
it's old muffins and stuff.
It's
I will
like-
cross
it's-
off 2
it's-
rats off of my list.
It's probably like hardtack. So, like, or what? Maybe if you're real fancy, Abel, coming from Nuavia and everything, it might be like liminous bread,
Oh,
which is Elvish hardtack. So
the good stuff.
yeah. All right. So anything else you guys want to accomplish before you lay down for your night?
Oh, nah, man. I'm just gonna sleep.
Okay. The beds are not. Oh,
Might compare notes with Alora and see if she remembers anything about this Feywild that everyone was talking about. And
yeah, the more you talk to her, the more about it. Like, both of you are very intelligent people. Her very well educated, book studied, wise to the world, and it's that weird, frustrating thing of that smart people experience, where when there's a gap in their knowledge, they get more and more frustrated the more and more they realize how big the gap is. So the more you and Alora talk about it, the more like frustrated both of you get about this. And at some point she's even like, all right, well, fuck this. Let me try this. And she reaches out and she touches you and casts a spell. And you feel this warm energy go through you. And do you remember now? Anything?
do I remember anything?
No.
It did not work.
That's probably beyond my abilities. I mean, I know that people who've gone into the Fae have been able to retrieve their memories, but I don't think I might not have access to the spell required.
Do me next.
Oh, okay. I think I can only do this one more time. But she reaches over to Kamada and she casts the spell again. Anything?
It all came back to me now. I remember everything.
That is quite miraculous.
Well,
Kamana.
It's a miracle.
well, maybe it works different on Autokin than it does on human. I don't know.
Perhaps.
I didn't know magic was like species specific, but it's perhaps.
I am forever indebted to you.
Well, Marlo has been to the Feywild before. Perhaps she'll ask her mentor that she is meeting if she knows anything about restoring memories after coming back from the Feywild.
Nope. Not gonna.
I just don't think Mar's gonna think to ask that. Quite honestly,
Oh,
it's a really low on her list of priorities.
Nice, nice meta hint, Ronnie, but
I tried it, Rob. I tried it. I threw it in there. Man.
it was well played.
Yeah.
The order wouldn't know shit anyway. I'm so confident.
No. Okay, well, I'll enjoy my rations and then settle in uncomfortably. I'm not very comfortable around the Lycan folk.
Yeah, and the beds are, I mean, they're not like super comfy, but they feel kind of like straw mats that have been covered with some kind of thick, probably relatively itchy, woolish fabric. It doesn't seem like the Order of the Lycan is too concerned with comfort for their guests, at least. Yeah. Yeah. So doesn't take long for all of you to follow down. I mean, at this point, you guys are looking at like, you are really approaching exhaustion levels if you hadn't found sleep soon. So it doesn't take much for you all to start conking out one at a time. And Alora, probably she fights it the longest. She's studying her notes. Like, she's really bothered by this gap of knowledge that she has. But then you all conk out. So Mar, you get to the top of the stairs, and you're there at Callian's door.
I knock.
Come in.
Go in.
All right, and you enter in, and dressed in not her full leather armor, but she is wearing the large, like, ornate fur cloak that she wears. It's a little chilly tonight, and she's got a small fire burning. And she motions to a chair, and you notice that next to the chair there's a steaming cup of tea waiting for you there. But the moment you enter, and she motions, and there's a hesitation for a moment, and then she approaches you and puts out a hand.
Yeah, I take it.
She shakes it for a moment. She says, it's good to see you. It's actually been quite a while.
Yeah, yeah, it has.
How have things been going for you? I know we've been speaking, but the Singing Stone offers limited abilities. Go lay down.
Yeah, it's been a lot, actually.
Well, have a seat. Take a load off, both mentally, physically.
Yeah, thanks. Go sit down.
And her chairs are relatively comfortable. She has nicer furniture in here, but even then, like, Callian's relatively Spartan.
Oh,
but,
I don't relax in this chair.
Yeah, but it is a comfortable
sitting,
chair.
like straight up in it.
And the fragrance coming from the teacup, you get the like, hints of citrus and lavender. It seems like it would be a very comforting tea to drink.
How have things been?
Well, perhaps not good, but also not worse than they were when you left. Uncertain as usual. We just received some distressing news in the last few days about one of the rangers, so that's been a pressing matter of concern.
What happened to the ranger?
And you know that there are usually 6 rangers, one for each major forested zone within the kingdom. But the numbers have been so low that you guys were down to 5. And so she's talking, and she says they report in about once every 2 months or so, and we've heard from 4 of them, but Wela has not reported in nearly 4 months, which is unlike her. And you actually remember Wela, she finished her training right after you came. So she's probably the youngest of the rangers.
Okay.
And she was supposed to do... Yeah, it's been about 4 months since her last check-in, and it's mildly concerning. Especially, I don't think they're connected, but she was in the Tangle, which, as you know, is down near the ocean. And you've been bringing up so much about the ocean and the tidewaters in your conversation that it's just odd that so much seems to be going so wrong in that part of the world at this moment.
Yeah. Weird. Was she... I don't know if this is dumb to ask. I would know, I guess, this person. Was she human?
Wayla was a half-elf, like you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And you've probably, because, I mean, you've been there 2 years, so all of the rangers would have checked in at some point, so you've met all of them. If I can go over them now, or if you'd prefer, I can just send you their information.
You can just send it to me.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll give you like a brief on each of them. But you do remember Wayla, like, really, she's interested. She's like really warm-hearted, and everything was bright and new and fresh. And it was so, like, because you were there when she finished her training, so you were there when she was turned. You were there, like, when she went through that whole experience, and she didn't seem fazed by anything. Was so excited when she went off on her lone wolf time. When she came back a few months later on that, and she'd performed so well, they upgraded her to a ranger. And she went off on her first journey to the Tangle, and it was, like, she just seemed like everything was great. And for her to not check in you didn't know her that well, but it seems like she would be the type to not miss a deadline.
That's a lot.
Yes. So thankfully she wasn't in the deep wood, and most of our concerns were here. And so Indigo has been, checking the spiders, and he's been checking with the dragon, and so she's kept mighty busy recently. We don't have the manpower to go looking for Wayla, and so I'm not sure exactly. I guess we'll have to hire a messenger or something to head that way.
I wish I was headed that way. I think I'm going up to Feldspar.
Yes, not the right direction. You might run into a few of the others there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's been a lot. We went to the Haverley estate.
She nods like reservedly.
She's dead. We did not kill her. I just want that on the record. She did have a menagerie of creatures that used to include two of, not the orders, but Lycans. So
She had Lycans in
yeah, like behind the
cages.
bar. Yeah.
Do you have proof?
I mean, she no, not really. I mean, she told me. Well, someone told me who worked there, and then she confirmed it, and I investigated and kind of, confirmed that too, but nothing physical, really.
If you are not the cause of her death, how do you know she is dead?
Confirm. This week's euphemism for murder.
She had this, called it a kitten, was a displacer beast. She had a magical leash for it. It did get off the leash.
Oh. So, an unfortunate accident.
Yeah. She's was also in league with the whole, just all this undercover weird stuff that we've been running into.
I assume you have proof of those type of accusations.
We do, yeah, we have proof of that.
That would be helpful. And you are traveling still with a member of the royal family?
Yeah, that was an accident. We didn't mean to, bring her along into all of that, but...
It might perhaps be your saving grace.
Yeah,
The patricians are not ones that you want to tangle with. They have far more power than they should.
Yeah, she, definitely pissed a lot of the regular people off, so...
Patricians have far more power than they should. Yeah, you know who else said that? That lady.
This would perhaps be an interesting time to see what is happening in the halls of the rich. As soon as the word of Lady Haverly's death is reached,
Yeah, I guess so.
there might be a vacuum of power.
I didn't think about that.
Not for better or worse. Some of the patricians are good people.
Yeah, she definitely sucks.
I have only interacted with her once, mostly her husband.
Yeah.
Let it be known that he was, how you say, a deek.
No, he was the one who started the whole thing. So they had this whole forest in the back where they used to just put in a lycanthrope, put in a kelpie, put in a troll, and be like, fight, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I shall not burn a candle for her passing then.
Definitely don't. I mean, I guess it's been a while since we talked. I don't know. When in the Feywild, more of the flowers on things.
You hold up your hand and she... What is that on your finger?
What?
Oh.
So, so we went. Callie, it's been a long day. So we went in the Feywild because there was a little like Kelpie girl who had been imprisoned by Havilly, and then she was like, "Can you help us get home? I live in the Deepwood." And we were like, "The Deepwood? That's easy." And then she was like, "Actually, I live in the Feywild. Come with me." And we were like, "Oh fuck, we committed to this." So we go in the Feywild, and then we're like walking for a while. We can't really get anywhere, and it's like magical thing. And then turns out it was this Fey, and we did make a deal with him, and that's fine. So that's the reminder of that. Yeah. So
it is important to know the answer. Were you on the summer or the winter side when this deal was made?
That was on the summer side.
Oh.
So
She breathes a little sigh. I'm still binding, of course, to make a deal with
there's a devil
Zephyr.
on our side that's working with the Winter Court, I guess. He's in Feldspar. So we got to take care of that. That's what he wanted.
So there's a devil working with the Winter Court.
Yeah, but he's like in Feldspar, apparently.
That's unnerving.
It is. So that's on the to-do list. The spider problem that I rang you about, they're from the Winter Court side because we found where they hatched, and you can see them walking through wood. So
As I said, Indigo's been looking ever since you said the Spider Queen problem. Indigo has been going through the Deepwood trying to find, and has found many trails of evidence that hint at the location of potential spiders. Has not located them.
that's freaky. Maybe they left.
It's a lot of spiders. I don't know quite
It's a lot
where
of
they would have
spiders.
gone.
I think the corrupted version, though. You know,
Which
like I think
is
they
the
got the
fear.
flower stuff on them.
Yes, don't quite know what the corruption could be.
Right. Well, that's a lot. Fuck.
Anything else from the Fae that's anything? Did this deal come with anything else?
Did the deal come with anything? I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, you do. There was the cloak which Kaimana took. There was the bag that said, "If you trust me, don't open me."
Who cares? I'm not telling Kellyanne about the cool stuff.
Yeah.
What about the wild hunt?
Oh. There were these, do you know what the wild hunt is at all?
Yes.
Okay, well they like pointed at us and were like, "You," and we ran out of there. Was that? I think that was the right call for sure. But
well, I mean, if you value your life, then yes, that was your right call.
I mean, yeah.
You cannot go back to the Feywild.
Oh no, that's. But if we don't go back, then we're gonna break that deal.
Well, I would
6 months.
say at least the winter side.
Okay.
Because if they marked you, then you are marked. She goes and checks a calendar quickly. In about a month, I would recommend being very far away from the Deepwood. Because
Oh, motherfucker.
they can cross the boundary when the boundary is weaker, and it would be weak on the full moon.
Jesus. I gotta stop adventuring with these people.
Doesn't mean they can't still find you wherever you are in the material plane, but being far away
Galleon,
from
that's so not comforting. The Galleon, that's not helping.
drink the
Looking more and more
tea.
attractive.
Drink the tea.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I mean, if we tried to fight them now, we'd probably be fucked. But we were certainly fucked after the flower Hydra fight. So I mean,
like, you're looking at Kalyan, like, on her wall is a great sword that's probably as tall as Alyria, like, bitch ass woman.
yeah.
I could not take the wild hunt.
Wow, that's oh, Jesus.
I mean, the wild hunt is headed by the king of the court.
Oh, so I just had a conversation with the king at the court where I was like, "Hey, can we just like reschedule? That's really cool. It's really cool."
That sounds about like you, though, so...
Oh, I brought my friends. They're here, by the way. That's cool, right? Everyone was like, "Oh, is Kellyanne gonna be cool with this?" And I was like, "Probably. I hope so. You're cool with it, right?"
It is fine. There is not much to see in the keep these days. Although she kind of looks, and there's a couple devices on the wall that are magical in nature in some way. They seem to be tracking the, like one looks like maybe tracking the movements of the moon or things like that. And she's tonight, let's say the witching hour and 3. There's something special for you in the courtyard. You may invite your friends, but I imagine after the night, the day they've had, they would like to rest more. But Indigo would be here, as well as another of the rangers, and there's something for you at that time.
Okay.
Your dragonfin came by.
Yeah, really, really cool dude, isn't he?
He's crazy, yes.
Yeah, no, he's fucking psychotic.
But we made a deal. Thankfully, Indigo is not human, and they are now in communication with each other regularly. And as long as we send her to the hold to try to find Derevo, he will not burn us down, he said. So we are safe for now.
So he wants to find...
He's looking
dad?
for his father, yes.
Huh. Has he done any more threatening humanity, any of that?
I mean, last I heard, the Inniswood is safe and still has not been wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little worried about the 2 humans I got in the group getting out of here.
I don't see him hurting the princess.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be dumb.
Yes.
He does hate the other one so much. So just gonna have to talk through that one, but it'll be fine. He loves one of us, so it'll be great.
What?
Oh, Saurus, he's a giant rat. You saw him, right? You spied on us.
Yeah,
right?
he's a were-rat, correct?
Oh. Nope,
Yes.
just a big rat.
He's a were-rat. He is.
Roll a deception check.
I really don't want Callian to know about Saurus's deal.
Yeah, that's not gonna pass.
God, a 0. God. Rolled a 3.
I was
No,
just
wait,
saying-
it's a -1. So
Yeah, you have a
it's
2.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
okay.
it's a 2.
Well, and she only rolled a 7, but okay. And she kind of looks at you and says,
he's not a were-rat. He's a genetic. I don't. He was magicked. He was a rat. He was a regular rat. He was magicked into being what he is. He doesn't know how.
that's disturbing as well. How do you find yourself continuously at the center of things far beyond your abilities?
You know, I continuously try to not interact with these things, and then it happens so often.
Fate often finds us when it needs to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I ended up in a, I think, like a shadow realm at one point. That was crazy.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Like I think it was like maybe some Veil stuff. There was the guy we were fighting, Soren. He could like teleport, but I think it was like through the Veil, like his powers. And then he, at the end of us fighting him, like brought some of us over. I think maybe through that, and then we killed him there. and then there were like all these monsters maybe coming for us, and we managed to pull out of there. But it looked like where we were, but just none of the same people, and it was like dark and spooky.
But you weren't near the veil at all.
No. It was just him doing that, I think.
You see, she kind of gets up and goes to her desk, and she is flipping through some papers at her desk. And then she takes a quill and makes a note on something.
He was with the Tidewaters group, and concerning enough, repeatedly mentioned that he was a pawn. They'd have like a...
Which you said was that other group, a priori, correct? Yes.
Yeah. So he was like mentioned as like a little pawn if they like in chess go all the way up to the king.
So these two organizations seemingly working together then.
Yeah, we have like correspondence between them. They have two tide bonds, supposedly.
The Azalor keys.
Yeah, they're trying to... I guess they're trying to open that.
What do they want with that? It's an abandoned city.
Callie and I have so many parts of this puzzle, but I don't even know what it's supposed to look like. So... nor all the pieces.
I would honestly say I don't know anybody that would probably have the answers.
Well,
maybe
we're trying, I guess.
Maybe a violet cloister, but...
Well, good thing we know someone kind of in on that, but also I don't think we trust the violet cloister right now. So.
Oh no, I would not trust.
Yeah.
Anyone who finds that books are more important than people.
Yeah. So. Well, cool. I'm glad we both really comforted each other with all the good news.
I deeply apologize. I know I'm supposed to be a good leader, but this has been a stressful few months. That's all.
No, you're fine. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's as always good to see you. But I mean, as I said, it's probably an hour or so before. We could do it now, but it's a ritual, and there are certain things that we just some things have to happen on the ritual time, and we're waiting for Zarya to arrive, and Zarya is one of the rangers, so.
Yeah. I mean, I can leave if you want to. Do.
Yeah, I actually have to get dressed. So.
Do I have to get dressed? Is this...
No.
Is this fine?
It's ceremonial. Things are ceremonial. I'm a leader. I have to wear the ceremonial bullshit.
Right, yeah, no,
yes.
and you look great in it. What? Alright, bye!
Fond memories of our time in Hightower together. No.
I can't stand this woman.
Okay.
I don't know how to be in a room with her.
Is there anything you want to do over the course of the next hour? Do you want to invite your friends?
No.
Okay.
I don't want them seeing weird order shit. I'm gonna be embarrassed.
Any of them? You okay.
No, I'm not gonna wake them up.
Okay.
I don't think for this.
All right, so we'll just fast forward then. And so you kind of go drop your stuff off around your sleeping friends, who all it doesn't even require a stealth roll, are all so knocked out that that they do not wake up at your presence. And kind of gather yourself, and you make your way back out to the main area. And here, there's in that last hour of you kind of getting ready, then there's been some changes made. The central zone, there is a large, looks like maybe with a shovel or something gouged out in the ground, a runic shape at the center of the hexagon. And it's kind of interesting now because the hexagon and this runic shape are now almost making kind of like an arcane sigil type of arrangement together. And there are now a few torches around, not lit, but they are kind of there on the edges of this runic sigil on the ground. And standing at the center of the sigil is Callian when you come out. At one point, near one of the torches, Prentice is standing there. Same armor. Now it makes sense why he would be wearing such ornate armor, just to be standing around the keep. You see a deep, like black with bright yellow-eyed tabaxi, who you know as Indigo, one of the rangers standing at one side, and then a very large, gray-skinned with dark bluish tattooing all across her arms and her shoulders, and a shaved head, giant bone earrings in her ears. You see Zarya, who you know is also one of the rangers, and they're standing there on either side, both clutching large swords, and kind of standing there in very ornate armor, waiting for you to arrive. The moment you step into the area, all the torches light up, but they're in this like very bluish light, and it's interesting because like the moment they light, you realize that like what this runic shape is a it's circular in nature, but you notice that within the circle there's these lines connecting these shapes, and at one end you see like just it's an empty circle. And then the next one is there's like a slivered line cut into it, and then the slivered line gets larger, and then it's a half circle, and then it's larger and larger and larger until it's a full circle, and then it cuts off again, and you notice it's the cycles of the moon, but with all these kind of runic lines and gouges. It's almost like a really ornate stained glass window that's been carved into the dirt of the ground here, like the way everything's connected and lined up. Prentice is standing there, and he says, "You enter the circle as a lone wolf. Do you do so of your own volition?"
I do.
And then Indigo, at another point of the circle, says, "You have made quite a name for yourself in such a short amount of time. Are you worthy of such accolades?"
I guess I'm trying to be.
She nods. And then Zarya at the other side, "Well, you're quite giving me a name for a run for my money with all of the things you've been doing. Are you worthy to bear a sword to protect me and your fellow order members?"
Yeah.
And Callian says, "Then take my place at the center of the circle." And she steps back to the edge.
I go take Callian's place.
Okay. The moment you do, you see Zarya takes out this vial, and it's this weirdly blue glowing liquid. And the moment she takes it out, the moonlight hits it, and the glow within it gets larger. And she unstoppers it, and at the corner where she is, next to that torch, she pours it into the trench of this runic circle that's carved in the ground, and you see it start to spread out from her area. And you see Indigo do the same thing at her side. You see Callian do the same thing at her side, and finally Prentice drops it at the other side. And you've got these 4 points of this liquidy light spreading through the runic circle, and it's slowly making its way towards the middle. And at this point, you look down and you realize like you are standing in the spot of the full moon, at the center of this, and the light kind of hits the 4 edges and starts to spread around. And once the circle closes, this beam of light shoots into the air, and you are basked in moonlight. And for a moment, you feel hairs sprouting on your arms and claws coming out. But you don't go into a full transformation, but just that energy of the moon is there. And Callian, Desperate times often call for desperate measures. But you have proved yourself beyond your years, your natural abilities with your true form, and your willingness to be both humble and brave. We wish to welcome you into the Order as a full member with the rank of Ranger.
Oh. Wow, didn't see this coming. Yeah, that's cool. What?
I have always told you that you have abilities far beyond your own beliefs. If only you would tap into your true nature and power. And I can see that you have done that.
Yeah.
Often it takes a year before one is considered for such a position. We were already down one ranger when you joined our rank 2 years ago. And we have since lost another, apparently. Either missing or dead. I do not mean to diminish this honor, because I do believe that you would have naturally achieved this rank on your own. But it is a desperate time. But I trust you more than any to take this honor and this responsibility.
Do I have to like stop doing what I'm doing with my friends?
No. The sixth, like she says, like you would be taking the place of the sixth ranger, and you know that this, like, while the 5 rangers are specifically tied to a zone, the sixth ranger is like seen as the exploratory member, the one who seeks out other problems and keeps in touch with the central area, because they're not tied to a central location. They have more freedom to see as much as they can.
Okay.
In other words, you're Mr. Wolf from Pulp Fiction.
Yes. You can go and do whatever and just check in. It won't change. It won't change what you're doing, and in fact, I think will empower you to do it better.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So she says, then kneel for me, please. As I said, it is ceremony, so there are some ceremonious things.
Yeah, sure.
So
I need-
you kneel, and she takes out her gigantic ass greatsword. And she
It murders me. I
yeah,
die.
she chops your head off. And with the flat blade, she touches your left shoulder, and then your right shoulder, and then she puts it into the dirt at the new moon, and then Prentice takes his sword and sticks it in at one of the other phases, and so now there's 4 swords circling you. And then Prentice goes to a chest behind him and opens it up and comes up and pulls it up to you, and pulls out a set of armor. And he walks up to you and presents it to you. And then steps away. And what you have in front of you is armor that looks a lot like Callion's and Prentice's. Super ornate. You can tell like the breastplate and the shoulder pads have been like deeply boiled and hardened, and they're a dark sable blackish leather, like dark brownish paneling down the sides, but overall mostly grays and blacks. Certain areas have chain elements that are guarding some of the weaker points, like under the arm, across the like the lower chest and things like this. There's a kind of a higher collar, but there's clearly a space where you can put the order sigil kind of in the centerpiece.
Does it look like I can wear my jacket over it?
Yeah, it's not like
that's all that matters
yeah.
to me.
But it is
Cover
it's
this
beautiful.
up.
It's beautifully ornate armor. There's a wolf pin, much like everybody else wears, and attached to the wolf pin is a midnight blue cloak that would go over one shoulder. And Prentice gives it to you and says, the last person who wore this armor was quite ferocious. I think it's in good hands.
Thanks.
And I will send you. I will actually add it to your D&D Beyond during the break, so you'll have it.
Oh, boy. Do I just stand there with them? Can I leave?
Yeah. So they after that, and you take it. They all kind of stand around you for a moment, and then they kind of step away. And Callian says, "Normally, all of the rangers would be here for such a situation, but we could not get Frenton to leave the Shadowvale, and of course, Wela is missing. So this was all we could muster. But they will be around in the morning if you have further questions. But I'm sure you are tired."
Yeah, no, it's been the longest day of my life.
Yes, I can imagine.
Literally.
Literally. 15 hours longer than it should be. Well, then your old room is still empty. You are free to go get some sleep.
Cool.
Yes. And we shall see you in the morning.
Yeah. See you then.
Sleep well, Ranger.
Thanks.
And with that, we'll go ahead and take a break, which will, all of you are going to sleep, so you will level up. You'll hit level 5, so you can go ahead and take care of that during the break. You can roll your hit points and things, and then we'll cover all that stuff and get your hit point updates after the 10 minutes. But we'll go ahead and do that, and then I will send you your armor information, Mar. All right, sweet. So see you in 10. Okay, so welcome back. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
welcome back from the break. Where we left off, the ticket takers had all fallen asleep, minus Mar, who had a little bit of a ceremonial thing to attend. But as the day dawns, after the longest day ever for you all, you all kind of rise. And for those of you who are asleep in the kind of the loft area, there's this wafting smell of roasting meats and vegetables and things coming from the lower area below you, and it does seem like there is breakfast being prepared. So as the day starts up, what would you all like to do?
Want to find where the breakfast is being prepared.
All right, so you make your way downstairs, and this hall, now that there's plenty of light and you're not seeing it with dark vision or by a small daylight, it's a very large hall, probably built to hold 50 or 60 members comfortably. And there are like 6 people kind of milling around. There's a cook kind of in the corner, like cooking, occasionally going over to the fireplace where there's a couple things up on racks that are being cooked over the fire. There's 1 or 2 people who are going around kind of dropping food in front of the half-orcan man that you saw the night before, as well as a tabaxi and a large Goliath female who are eating there, but very sparse, spread out. The tabaxi and the Goliath are sitting together, but the half-orc is sitting off by himself. And then there is the half-elven girl, Yara, who you all met last night. And she is sitting again in very plain garb in a corner, kind of over some food. Very tired. Looks like she just ended her shift as night watch and is probably eating before she goes off to sleep. But there's if you go up to the cook, there's food there. There's random potatoes and things, as well as looks like half a pig that he's roasting. So there's probably some fresh bacon and some bits there as well.
Ooh.
Pocket bacon.
Lots of pocket bacon.
He slices off doesn't like slice bacon, but he slices the slab and just kind of passes it on to you and says, "Well, there's not a lot of us, so you can take all of this and divide it up with you as you will."
Thank you. Thank you, good sir.
Yeah, take all you like. We heard we had guests, so I broke out the fancy foods.
Let's load up a plate, man.
Marlo, you wake up in your room.
Yeah, you do. I guess I start gathering my stuff and go to meet my friends.
Okay. So after you got back to your room last night, you kind of unpacked everything and like oh my god, what is going on?
Yeah, I know. I was just like throwing my stuff around, being like, "Fuck, damn it!" Like.
At some point, you're putting things away, and you grab that bag that Robin Goodfellow gave you. And when you pick it up, like you feel like it's a little weightier than you remember it being.
Did the tag on it change?
Okay, so you look at the tag and you turn it over, and where before it had said, "If you trust me, don't open me," it said, "Ha, even humans can follow directions. Open at will."
I open it.
Okay. So you open it up inside, and when you were holding it earlier, it literally felt probably like wood chips or something on the inside. You're not really sure. But the weightiness of this, when you open it this time, you just see this bright silvery glint coming from inside. You could spend some time counting it.
Yeah.
There's 50 platinum.
Good fellow. Okay.
He is a good fellow.
Giving silver to the werewolf. Haha, very funny, John.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know enough. You know enough about Fae to know
Do I have
that
a weakness to silver? You don't know.
you don't know. Yeah. But you know enough about Fae to know that it probably was fairy gold while it was in the Feywild, and then whatever enchantment released from it, and it turned into platinum when it came to.
Okay.
Cool.
But he seems to be financing your excursion, so.
I mean, I love that for us. Cool. Then once I'm done with that, I guess I'll go join the others in what is not going to be a very uncomfortable breakfast for me.
I want to sit next to Yara.
So you go over to where Yara is? Okay, so
Yes.
I don't know where everybody else sits, if you all join Abel, but Abel makes his way over to sit next to Yara. And in the daylight, you see kind of like this blonde-haired, dirty, half-elven girl. Probably, I mean, it's hard to tell how old she is exactly, but probably in her very early 20s. And she's eating quietly. She's got like a mug of ale next to her. And the moment you sit down, she just looks up at you. I'm not quite sure why you are sitting here.
I figured this was as good a place as any. Good morning. How are you today?
She looks around at all of the empty seats. Tired. It's been a long night.
Yes, we had a very long night apparently too in the Feywilds, but I can't seem to remember. Have you ever traveled to the Fey yourself?
Many times.
What do you remember of the Fey?
I remember everything.
So it is not common to lose your memory when you...
I mean, as far as I know, only the weak-willed and the weak-minded do.
I would have many descriptors that I would gladly accept. Weak-willed is not one of them, madam.
Based on the amount of fat on that plate, I seriously doubt that. And you notice now, looking at what she's eating, relatively healthy. She's not touching anything that's like high fat. It's definitely a healthy diet that she has chosen to partake in.
I can see why there's tension between you and Marlo. And I'll just take my plate and walk away.
Yes, well, the gut I'm sure you're starting to build will protect you from her sharp wit.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Yeah, there's a moment when she's speaking where, like, she's being like this, where she looks over in Prentice's direction just for a moment. He's not paying attention to her, so she kind of smiles and, like, goes back to what she was doing.
So I guess I'll just find a little another spot to sit and just
After a
enjoy
minute,
my meal.
Alyria does join you at your table, and then Soris and Kaimana.
Who?
Alyria joins Abel at his table. Yeah. What are you two doing?
I'm eating.
Okay. Are you gonna sit? Are you sitting over with Abel, or did you just like pop somewhere else?
Well, it's really the only table with someone I know, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're sitting over by Abel and Alyria, Soris.
Same.
Okay. After 15 minutes or so, Marlowe comes in. Marlowe, are you wearing your new armor?
Do it.
Yeah.
Are you wearing your coat over it?
Yes.
Okay. So Marlowe comes in. You see her coat normally, but buttoned maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, a little higher than usual, but not
little higher
all the
than
way. I'm
usual,
not a
yeah.
nerd.
Her hat over her head, and she kind of walks in.
I
there's-
look at this room full of about everyone I've talked to in the last 5 years, and I get really uncomfortable.
but there's food to be had.
Yeah, I go talk to Stonefist, the cook.
Stonefist. Oh, you remembered Stonefist.
My
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
My dude. Yeah.
Oh, Marlowe. It's good to see you.
Stonefist, been a while.
It has been. I heard you were coming back, so hold on a second. And he goes back and he like is rummaging, and he pops forward and he's like, I mean, it's not quite your favorite, but some roasted Brussels sprouts, some carrots, all for you.
I haven't eaten in like 25 hours, so this is great.
Yeah. And so he's made you a full vegetarian breakfast for you.
Ugh, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite person in this, this place.
Yeah. I had dessert for you last night, but you, I never saw you come through here, so I didn't.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I pointed the armor.
Yeah. I heard. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's not every day.
Crazy. No, God, no, it's not.
Well, if anybody deserves it. Rather
Hey,
you than
Wait,
Yara.
I lean in. Yeah, say that loud.
Well, better you than Yara, right?
Yeah. Well,
You
know.
you see she's still dressed like an initiate.
no. I lean in. Stonefist, has she not fucking progressed anymore?
They won't let her go on her lone wolf journey. She tried to fight Callian with her fists. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why did Callian not fucking kill her on sight?
Oh, what do you think Callian actually did?
Punched her in the face?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. I mean, we've all been punched in the face by Callian, but
Yeah.
like...
But Callian meant it this time.
Jesus.
Yeah. That shut her
Why
up
is
for a
she
little
still
while.
here? God, I convinced her to stay. Why the fuck did I do
I don't know.
that,
There's
stupid?
something that keeps her here. I don't know what it is, but she is not advancing.
Hatred. Hatred is what keeps her
Yeah,
here.
it burns pretty bright.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go sit with my. I look at where the fuck I'm supposed to sit, like an awkward kid in the cafeteria, not knowing if I should be sitting with like my order or with my friends.
Well, and you see, like, I mean, the two rangers are sitting. They're sitting at one table. Prentice is not sitting with them. He's not a ranger. He's the instructor. So he's
Right.
he's technically like not in the ranking system, but he has the respect of everybody. And he's kind of sitting off to the side, like reading through some papers. And then Yara is off by herself, and then your
Not
friends.
even an option.
Yeah, not even an option. Yep.
What? You're not gonna go there and just show off your armor to her?
Oh no. That's how we're doing it. She can suffer on her own. I go sit with my with the group then.
Okay. So Mar joins you all.
Hey gang.
Any word on the dragon?
Oh yeah, they made a deal with him. He's fine with us, and he maybe is a little cooler now. He's just making them try to find his dad, but he's not gonna get in the way, supposedly. I mean, still probably has the human issue, but
I would feel much more comfortable getting out of the deep woods as soon as possible.
no, I think we really should head back today.
Yes, I mean, it has been 24 hours. I don't think I was supposed to be awake quite this long.
Yeah, no, hopefully we can get back. We should be able to get back today.
As far as I know, the location of Romulus Keep are a little bit further south than we probably planned. Is there a chance they might loan us some horses?
Probably, if I ask. I have authority. I'll ask. I hate saying that. That's fine.
They give trainees authority?
Yes, you have authority. It's good to know.
I got promoted.
What was that?
I got promoted.
Slotus.
I got promoted last night.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, I guess that is a big honor, right?
It
You
is.
don't seem excited.
It is a huge honor, and I didn't expect it at all. I'll go see if I can get us some horses, so hopefully we can just get on out of here. Get on the
You
road.
don't want breakfast first?
I mean, I can eat this in like 5 seconds. What are you talking about?
Mar!
Maybe you wanted to tell us about your new promotion, you know?
What? Nah, it's not important. It's fine.
What's your
cool.
title? Does that mean that you're a werewolf now?
Yep.
That sounds like it tracks, yes.
Nah, I'm the ranger now.
6th Ranger, to be specific.
The 6th ranger.
Does Alyria recognize that what that means?
Is that the Green Ranger?
Yep.
Yes, she got an ocarina and everything. Alora does. Well, that is quite an honor. I mean, there are only 6 of you.
Well, funny story. Right now, there's not. One's missing, which is really cool. One isn't reported in months, so that's why pity promoted. But
Are you taking that one's place? They don't.
no, because she's the 5th ranger and I'm the 6th. They just haven't had a 6th in a while. The 6th is like you go wherever you want. The other 5 are like tied to locations.
Yeah, you know
So
there
you're
are.
not happy to leave us.
Yeah,
No,
So
I
you will
can't.
continue to travel with us. That's
Yeah,
I'm glad to
no,
hear
that's,
that, Mark.
that's
Yeah.
the whole point. It should get me a little more connection to, hopefully, I don't know, maybe I can just help out a little more.
Are you tasked with eventually finding your ranger counterpart who has gone missing?
Kind of the opposite direction. I think that's a project they're working on, but if it lasts too long,
Okay.
yeah, I think I gotta look into it at some point.
Just curiosity.
Well, it happened by the water, so they think, I mean, Callian put out there maybe tide waters, but
for reference for you, you know that each of them are tied to one of the 5 major forests in Alyria. And the one that the 5th Ranger is at the Tangle, which is a boggy swamp mangrove forest in the lowlands on the banks of the on the banks of the ocean. Yeah,
Was it the Tidelands?
it's in the Tidelands. Yeah,
So near Bogtown.
it's I mean it's probably like the edge of the Tangle is probably like 100 miles from Bogtown, but in the same like region of the world. Yeah.
It's on the Shadow Gulf near something that starts with a T.
Souvenir
It ends in
Key. Yeah, Souvenir Key.
Okay.
Near the Blight.
Near the
That's
Blight,
never a good
yes.
place to be.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but
Are we still going to make our way towards Hightower?
Yes.
I mean, if we catch the airship,
Well, I don't think they would leave without me. That would be bad form.
yeah, that would be awkward. So hopefully we can still get on that. Get
Fend
to
off
Hightower.
Tower.
Yeah.
I want to warn my father of the assassination attempts. Or...
You sent that letter ahead, right? With someone?
You sent it with Jane.
Yes. But I still want to see him face to face.
Mhm.
The
In
sooner
theory,
we
we should
can
be taking the airship with them, right?
Yeah. The sooner we can get out of these woods, the better. For several reasons.
Okay. I will go to see if I can get his horses. I guess I'll go talk to Prentice. Would be the person to ask.
So Prentice, like, you know, he kind of functions as the quartermaster and as the instructor. So you kind of go over to him,
Memory.
and he
All
says,
these names.
I knew like 3 of these characters going into it.
"That's I have Mars' backstory printed off in front of me, so
I also did reference, but when I knew we were going, like these characters.
So so you go up to Prentice, and you see he's just kind of reading through like a ledger of stuff, like he's kind of keeping track of things, and he looks up and he says, "Well, how's the new armor fitting this morning?"
Feels different.
I'll say that the weight of being a ranger is not always easy. It's why I stopped being one.
Yeah.
Weird flex, but all right.
I guess I'll figure it out.
I have every faith that you will.
I'm glad you do. Can I have horses? Can we borrow horses?
Where would you be taking said horses?
To where the fuck are we from?
Broadfield.
Broadfield? Oh, it's been so long since I've heard that name.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally been a day, but it's been like 6 weeks. So.
To Broadfield. It's just gonna be a bit of a ride, and we really gotta get the princess back today, or I think they're gonna be real fucking mad at us.
Yeah, that tracks. How many do you need?
How many of us are there?
There's 5 of you technically.
5.
Including
What?
Yeah, so we can do 4, right? That's like reasonable.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, DM, would we be able to take these horses on the airship?
Well.
Is there room for that?
Why? What?
Well, so then, like, we're not going to have the airship the whole time. If we take the horses with us, we can use them to travel, you know, after Hightower, wherever else we're going to go.
They're also
Marlo
not
just
our
got-
horses.
Maybe. I don't think I'm allowed to take them across the land.
You
I
can't
think
just-
this is a borrowing
I
situation.
would point out that Marlo just got 50 plat, and there are plenty of horses in Hightower.
True. Well, we don't know that yet.
Yeah,
You don't know I got 50 plat.
horses aren't super expensive. Yeah. And to rent horses are not super expensive.
We have a princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask the princess for a boon when we get to Hightower, saying, "Can you hook us up with some horses from the local military stable? We're gonna get horses."
Yeah, and he kind of pauses for a moment. He says, I think I can
I can get
spare
someone to
4.
maybe take them back.
Oh, well, I wouldn't let you go alone. Somebody would have to bring them back, so I'm trying to think. He kind of flips through the book a couple.
Prentice, please
He's
don't
gonna
do what
do
I
it.
think
He's
you're
gonna
about to
do
do. Prentice,
He is
Princess,
gonna do it.
You think
Princess,
I would?
I value you as an instructor and a comrade, and I'm really just am begging you.
He
not to do
releases this like. You think that I would send Yara with you?
I just was
Oh.
so worried that you would.
Marlo, you should know better than that. I was just seeing if my schedule was clear enough that I could accompany you today.
Okay.
Or Stonefist.
Yes. Yes.
You're only cooking for 4 this afternoon. Could you ride with Marlo and the crew and then bring the horses back? And Stonefist like looks around. Yeah, I can manage that. Good. I mean, I hate riding, so that'll work.
No, I appreciate it.
Well, I'll go out to the stables and get them ready. 5 horses, that works.
Well, just 4, right? 4.
Well,
Yeah,
Stonefist needs a horse too.
Oh yeah, I understand.
That's true.
Congratulations again.
Yeah,
It's always good to see you.
thanks. I'll turn back to the group and I'll be like, I'm gonna just go check in on Kellyanne real quick before we head out, but after that I'm ready to go.
You had like the way they have the doors open, it almost makes this feel like an open air. There's a nice breeze coming through from outside, and you head out into the courtyard and you look up and kind of on the wooden parapet that goes around the outside of her office. Callian's just standing out there, kind of looking out over the forest, and she sees you motioning down, and she. Like, you can either head up to her or she can come down to you.
I'll head up to her.
Okay. So you make your way up to Chaldean. She says, well, I hope you slept well. You didn't get much sleep.
Yeah, no, it was, first sleep in a while, so it was pretty good.
I'm trying to, the last time you probably got this little sleep was, do you remember, like, the second night in Hightower?
Yeah. I mean, not well, but
Oh. I was asking because I don't remember. So,
yeah,
yes.
no, it was a wild one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, yes it was. We're heading back there actually. So that'll be fun
Well,
to hit the old stops.
I know that you are on a dire journey and you feel that there are things that are important, but remember to take time to breathe and to rest.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
And keep in contact, of course.
Will do.
And I will let you know, Indigo is going out on another mission today to see if he can she can locate the spiders. But
Cool.
I'll keep you
Yeah,
informed.
and I tell her that where we saw them peel off from that portal to see if that's any help.
Okay. Oh, that is good. Kind of been doing just quadrant searches, but knowing a kind of a starting location would be helpful as well.
Yeah, I know that's at least where they came from.
Good. I'll send her that way today.
Cool. Thanks for everything.
No. Thank you. I was afraid when you No, I will save that for another time.
Yeah.
It is good to see you back.
Business.
So yeah, it was good to see you too. I'll keep in contact.
Well, I'm sure Stonefist likes you best, so he made the best food. But take whatever leftovers that you need.
Will do.
Load up. We will not eat it all, and it would go to waste. So.
Right. Cool. I don't know when I'll see you, but I'll see you.
Right. And she nods, and she's just drinking some tea, and oh, I don't and she hands you over a little like a satchel, and with your senses you immediately smell like there's this interesting thing about the strength of Callian as a person, and how like she walks into a space and immediately everyone gives her the full attention or whatever, but she always smells of lavender. And you realize like what she's handed you is a pack of the tea she always drinks.
Oh. Thanks.
As I say, it is important to remember to take time for yourself to be calm, to breathe,
Yeah, I'm
to
great
get
at
out of
that.
your own head. This might help.
Yeah.
You were never good at the meditation part, so.
No, it's the one thing Yara got me at.
Well, that's because her head is always so empty anyway.
Yeah. I heard you decked her.
Well, if you know me well enough, you know it was probably deserved.
I believe it.
She called me a bitch.
Fuck. Jesus. What? To your face?
No, at least you had the decency to do it behind my back.
Well, I would understand if you had said just as much about me.
Yeah, we all do, but it's fine.
I mean, if it was on the full moon.
It is that strength that keeps you alive. So be a bitch.
Yeah, you too.
That's some Margot advice right there.
I leave.
I don't think that part was necessary.
She's got the blessing to do it now.
That's all I wanted.
Yes. Signed off. All right. So you.
I turn around to go to Yara, call Callian a bitch, and then say, no, she gave me permission.
You go to find Yara, and her table is empty, and she is gone.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I just imagine in my head that I did that. I don't care. I'm not saying goodbye to Yara.
Yeah. Through this conversation, it was like as much as like Callian was talking to you, she wasn't looking at you. She very clearly was keeping an eye on everything. Like this is she's not the ruler of this land, but this is her domain. This is what she is guarded with protecting. And you get the sense you've known her long enough, and probably better than anybody in the order, and you can sense the great weight that she's under.
Yeah, before I go, I'll just kind of squeeze her shoulder really quickly and just be like, you should remember to rest too sometimes.
I guess I should take my own advice, but thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just you know. You got a whole.
This first, she turns to you, makes eye contact, and she doesn't say anything else. She just nods and.
Cool. Then I leave.
Yeah. Okay. All right. While this is going on, you did see Apprentice gathering horses below, and all of the order horses are the same. They're all black in color, and very simple, bluish kind of. He puts a bluish. What am I trying to say? Cloth over the body, and then a blanket, and then saddles each of them with a bridle. And then he leads them out one by one, and doesn't have to attach them to any kind of post or anything. When he leads them out into the center of the area there, they just stay where he kind of leads them to, and then he's got all 5 lined up, ready to go.
Saddle up.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to pack up some rations from the morning's breakfast.
And then
look up some pocket bacon.
yeah. And while like as you guys are all doing that, like you see like the cook is like cleaning up his area relatively quickly, and he's throwing a bunch of stuff into his sack. And then he just kind of throws it over his shoulder, and he says, "Well, I guess I'm leading you all on this journey, so let's head out." And he charges out into the area, grease-stained shirt, like just happy-go-lucky guy. Heads to the thing, hops on a horse. Man, it's been a while since I've ridden one of these, but this should be exciting. You do know the way, right, Marlo?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Well, I don't, so good. And they're there. So you all mount up on your the horses?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm trying to think who has not ridden a horse before. Saurus and Kaimana? Probably. Good. So go ahead and everybody roll animal handling checks. Mar with advantage because you were trained in horseback riding.
19. I speak beast speech.
Oh, right. You should have had advantage anyway because you can talk to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we come to an understanding.
Yeah.
19.
Nice.
17.
And sorry, Kaimana, you're probably not even riding horse. Who are you riding with?
Sorry.
Okay, good. So you and Saurus both roll a 19, which is great because you have like the calmest horse ever at this point. Mar, what was yours?
17.
17, good. Abel?
12.
Okay, and...
I mean, it's just a horse. I was one yesterday.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess you guys probably could have done it that way. And Alyria did like 14 too, so good. So you all get on, and like Abel, it's been a while since you've been on a horse, and Noavian horses are a little smaller, and these seem like war horses, like they're ready to go into battle if need be, but a little bit smaller, probably geared towards making their way through woods and things like that. But you hop on. You calm your horses, and Marlo leads the way out. And you guys exit out of the front of Romulus Keep, which are these large wooden doors that are at this point open to the air. And you see as you're exiting out that beyond the keep, you don't see any forest. And there's a moment where you cross through and you realize that like this keep sits literally on the edge of the deep wood. The whole back half of the keep is inside of the deep wood, but the front entrance is the edge. And you're now on a main road, and you turn to head north, knowing that you probably have about a 5 or 6 hour, or 5 hour ride probably. Well, yeah, to Broadfield, because it would have taken you all day to get there on foot. And so you've got this journey ahead of you. Go ahead and everybody roll a perception check, and we'll say like this covers the entire 5 hour journey.
A 3 hour tour.
18.
18? Okay.
17.
5.
You see
18.
nothing, Abel. You're still worried about the fact that you can't remember the last 15 hours of your life.
He is paranoid looking for the dragon.
Keep it like constantly looking over. Oh, and Alyria. Alyria also like really concerned about the 15 hours she missed and focusing on that. But the rest of you, as you go further north, you're keeping an eye. You don't see any danger. It's a really quiet morning. There's not a lot of traffic on this side of the Riverlands area, because the only thing down here is Romulus Keep anyway, because everything else is kind of further north. And there's a few clouds in the sky, and as you get closer to Broadfield, the clouds kind of build, but they're these high kind of cirrus clouds. But Saurus, you said 18?
Yes. As did Kaimana.
Kaimana. So Kaimana and Saurus, as you are approaching Broadfield, you see it you come up over a hill and you see it down in the valley beneath you near the river line. There is a cloud that weirdly seems out of place. All the other clouds are relatively high, like they're like those kind of feathery cirrus clouds. This one's a little bit lower and it's very singular. And while all the other clouds are moving in a westerly direction with the wind, this one, over the course of the last hour that you've been watching it, you kind of caught it in the distance, and you've gotten closer to it, and it's gotten larger, but it hasn't moved. And that's
Rabbi from Dunland.
and that's where we'll pick up next week.
Alrighty then.
All right. So thank you all so much. We will see you all next week for episode 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Marv, you want to hold on and you can ask me your question once everybody else is out
Yeah, yeah.
there. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.